Yo, Spark Twain here, and I want to start talking about my story. A lot of people, specifically ASM artists, message me and they're like, "Oh, I'm very interested in your story." And so I write a daily blog at asmr.community, and it's something I call the ASMR Daily. Been doing that since April 1st. I didn't publish on May 27th because it's the video of the day, and on May 27th, everybody was watching the George Floyd video. So I haven't decided if I'm going to be silent every May 27th, but it depends on the political environment next year around that time if I think we need another day of silence. Otherwise, every single day of the year, I publish an article. Ideally, it's out at 8 a.m. Eastern Time, 5 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Sometimes it's 15 minutes late. Today I was a little bit late. And I am an alcoholic, and I used to do a lot of other drugs, but none of the other drugs really affected me as like seriously as alcohol did. So that's like my main focus. But I do have experience with a lot of these other things. I had drug problems from 14 to 21, and then I had alcohol problems from 21 to 26. Just like 21 to 24 was like drinking every day. Like I would drink like one of those big bottles of 1.75 liter every 2 days without question. And I would start drinking the moment I woke up, and I would, by the time I was 22, from 22 to 24, I probably blacked out every day, sometimes twice a day. And that's not good, and it's not a way to live. So yeah, I write the daily blog because I want to help individuals find find answers, find solace, and overall just help individuals who might be going through something similar. Because at the end of it all, after I stopped, it's like, what was I even thinking? I'm First of all, I feel really far behind in life, and I try not to feel that way, but I mean, the absolute number one factor is I don't have any money, and my shoulder is broken because I crashed a bicycle 10 days, 11 days after I turned 21. So pretty much the moment that I turned 21 and I was able to like buy my own alcohol, I got, I damaged my body just irreparably. Can't do construction work. Can't be a garbage man. I can hardly wash dishes. There's a lot of things I can't do. Sometimes my hands, like I lose control of my hands now. I'm 28 now, so this was 7 years ago. Sometimes they just like are shaky, and I write, I'm a writer, so sometimes it's very frustrating because I just can't write anymore. I have super bad back pain a lot, and like, I mean, it's crazy. I've never met anyone with the same problem as me, but it's 100% caused by alcohol. There's no question. And it's not caused by alcohol, it's caused by my consumption of alcohol. So I want to help people before they do irreparable damage to their life. One thing I think, and this is gonna, right now, some people are gonna stop watching this video because it's gonna piss them off, but I talk a lot about Alcoholics Anonymous because it is the program. When it comes to getting sober on planet Earth, don't know what it's like in the rest of the universe. Excuse me. When it comes to getting sober on planet Earth, Alcoholics Anonymous is like what you do. Now, there's other programs, Narcotics Anonymous, Smart Recovery is kind of a newer thing that's cropped up. But in America, if you get in trouble with the law, they force you to go to Alcoholics Anonymous, like by law, which is wrong and defeats the purpose of it. Where was I going to go with that? Alcoholics Anonymous. And I'm not going to edit this video. I don't edit video because it's just like, I got problems with this thing too. I mean, if you drink alcohol every day and don't stop, even when this happens, even when people around you are like, what are you doing? Even, you have something wrong with your brain. And that's fine. 1 in 6 Americans have an undiagnosed mental disorder. Or maybe just period, 1 in 6 Americans have like a mental illness, as it were. And this could be depression or maybe even high anxiety. I'm not a doctor. I don't pretend to be a doctor. And oftentimes I'll say things without even citing a resource. Um, Basically, I want to scare the shit out of you. See, and now I swore. I don't know if I'm see, and I don't know if I can monetize these videos. I'm new on YouTube. I'm putting this on my ASMR channel, even though this isn't necessarily ASMR. Um, Maybe I put it on the asmr.community YouTube channel. I'm trying to do those two channels, but with the asmr.community channel, I'm more interested in like interviewing artists and talking to them about how they think ASMR is going to change and has changed the world. So my story is that I used ASMR to stop drinking, but not alone. Like there was a lot of factors. It's never just one factor. Nobody just like nobody just goes to Alcoholics Anonymous and then gets sober. It doesn't. It's not a one-step program. Oh, and I believe that Alcoholics Anonymous, the program helps 10% of people. 10% of the people that enter Alcoholics Anonymous find success with the program. That's a statistical fact. But I think it's more like people, usually older people, 35 and older, it helps more, and this is because they are sick of their disease. Alcoholism is a disease, as it were, but I'm 100% confident that it's always caused by something else. Alcoholism, mine kind of existed because I was bored, and that's a problem. I was bored, and that led to like maybe some depression. You know, after I broke my shoulder, I was straight depressed. Like that was the hardest time in my life, and right now is the second hardest time in my life because I'm trying to open a business, and it's like it's really hard for me to hold a job because my shoulder's all messed up. So, and it's like, I don't know. It's just a little tough. So, and I write the blog, but people have been like really telling me, they're like, you should get on YouTube. And I'm like, okay, so I'm going to get on YouTube and I'm going to tell the story. This is like, I'm going to try and keep it short today and not talk forever. Sometimes I'll be like, I'm going to record a 5-minute video, and 45 minutes later, I'm done rambling, and I'm like, I can't do anything with this. I'm not going to go through and edit it. That's the end of the story. Like, I got to do what makes me happy. I write. Every single day I write between 500 and 1,500 words. I edit it. I put it online. I love to write. But I'm not going to start editing video because I would if I saw like an end to it. Like if you're watching this and you have a really specific, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? If you have a really specific thing you want me to do, you're like, no, this is exactly this. You should edit these. This is like, I enjoyed everything, but then there was this big part where you really did ramble too hard, and you can go through and identify this. Help me identify what to cut out, you know, because I watch my videos. I'm like, I don't really know. It's all just the same amount of rambling. So I think that Alcoholics Anonymous mostly helps people who have had something detrimental and traumatic happen to them. Like if you just got out of prison for 5 years and you're having a hard time not drinking, Alcoholics Anonymous is, since it's pretty much the only option, and it's definitely without a question the most readily available treatment program, you'll go to that and you will find success. However, I believe that people would find success even if that didn't exist, because it's like after you have a traumatic event happen to you, your mind changes and you get really scared of these things. Like this didn't scare me away from drinking. It did, but it just happened so fast, and I was young. Now, and once I got older, 26, it's like, what am I doing? It's the instant I broke my shoulder, I should have stepped back, stopped drinking, just lock yourself in a room with food and water for 10 days. Like, it's going to suck, but that's all in your head. Unless you're literally going to die, it's all in your head. And people don't die of alcohol withdrawals unless they are like I don't even think I was in danger of dying from alcohol withdrawals. I'm pretty sure you have to be drinking every day for like 10 years in a row to be in danger from that. But again, I'm not a doctor. Don't quote me on that. It is safer to withdraw in a medical environment, but also don't use it as an excuse to not withdraw in your own home from drugs, alcohol, whatever, even sugar, even fast food. Just do it. That's like become my motto. Like this video, I was sitting here for like 7 minutes, like, I don't want to record the video because, well, I'm not stoned. I smoke weed, and that's another big thing I talk about, and it's another thing that is not really welcome in Alcoholics Anonymous, but like sobriety is different from everyone, for everyone. Like they drink coffee at Alcoholics Anonymous. I drink coffee every day, but I don't think that coffee is any more dangerous than marijuana. I think sugar is more dangerous than both coffee and marijuana. And I think you can overdo any of those things. Like you can definitely consume too much marijuana or coffee, sugar. You can consume too much of anything. And so that's something I talk about openly on my blog. You know, I'm hoping to help 10% of my readers. If 100 people come to my blog and read it, if 10% of them can find sobriety through the advice that I'm talking about, that seems like an obtainable goal for me. I'm all about setting obtainable or attainable goals. I guess you could interchange both those words. You know, you set a goal and it's got to be achievable. Kind of set myself an unachievable goal with this blog because I don't have a job or anything. And I had a lot of money saved up when I started this, and now that's dwindling, and I'm like, whoa, this might not make me money for like 4 or 5 years. So that's one of the reasons I'm coming out of my shell and turning to YouTube. Actually, when I started the blog, I was posting YouTube videos every day. That's my thing, like every day. That's what I can do. I can show up every single day. I'm addicted to writing. There's no question about that. But it's way better than an addiction to alcohol or like heroin or cocaine or crack or like speed or meth. It's like people who are like, well, you quit meth, but you didn't quit smoking weed. They are not the people you should listen to because they don't know what they're talking about. That's not even the same ballpark. It's not the same game, and they're not living on the same planet if they think that way. That's just a fact that some people are not yet comfortable with, but I write about it every single day at asmr.community. So, and it's like a meeting essentially. I encourage people to both read the blog and go to AA and use Smart Recovery and use inpatient or outpatient programs. If these are, I checked myself into an outpatient program for alcoholics and drug addicts, and I was the only person out of 12 people there that was not forced to be there by law. So right there, that's going to tell you, like, can I really do what Spark Twain did? I don't know. Out of 12 people, I was the only one who volunteered to be in that program. And that's kind of a problem. And I think that's one thing I'm trying to bring more attention to is, look, this quitting addiction is so difficult that I meet almost nobody that does it voluntarily. Unless I do meet people that do it voluntarily, but they don't then start a blog about it. They don't go to meetings and talk about their journey. It almost seemed like it was easy for them. It's like, oh yeah, one day I decided I was going to stop drinking, and then I did. And it's like, well, how does that help me? And that's not how it happened for me. I didn't just decide I was going to stop drinking and then I did. It took me a lot of years and a lot of rapid experimentation and trying different things. And at the end of the day, I write a daily blog, travel. I've traveled around the world since I quit drinking. I smoke weed, and I haven't really been smoking weed recently because I don't have any money to do that. But I do have money. I could go buy alcohol. That's so much cheaper. Left to my own devices, I spend about $1,800 a month on cannabis, and it would only take me $300 a month or less, $180 a month, to stay drunk every day, And that's again, not for everybody. And the reason I don't go to AA meetings and let these people know, hey, I have my own blog, I'm starting my own program, I have 4 steps. I'm going to bring them up right now. I wrote these down months ago. I have a 4-step program is what I deal with. ASMR Community Sobriety Program, that's what I call it. And right now everything's clumped together, asmr.community, but over time these will spread into different companies and entities, and I want to make sure that you know where to find the addiction recovery information, because even though I might do some other things, this daily blog is coming out every day. I don't know if it'll always be written by me, but it will be for a long time written by me. And if I do allow other people, they will definitely have experience with addiction recovery. So I'm going to tell you the 4 steps here, and then I'm going to rewind it and take you back to kind of the beginning, and then I am going to cut this video off so it doesn't go too long, and I'm going to start posting these way more often to get the story out there. So this is like the sobriety advice page on my website. It says sobriety advice, setting and achieving goals regarding sobriety. The first question that must be asked on your journey to a healthier, more sober life is, what is my goal? Below are the steps of admittance required for using the asmr.community program successfully. I should change that so it says asmr.community sobriety program. Step 1. And these are like not steps, they're admissions. So you say this to yourself, and I suggest doing all 4 of them at once. It's like, these are the 4 things. You know, AA has these 12 steps, and I don't know what they are. I know what the first one is, and it has done me no good. It's not something that makes sense to me at all. So, what am I supposed to do about that? Absolutely give up on sobriety and say, well, I can't use AA, so I have to keep drinking. No, I had to figure something out, because I would maybe be dead by now if I hadn't stopped drinking. I mean, it was pretty bad. So, step 1, sobriety is a choice, and it's up to me to make the right choice. Step 2, not everybody will be able to achieve sobriety, but that knowledge does not prevent my success regarding sobriety. Step 3, the urge to imbibe substances I know will prevent my success is finite. Sometimes the urge will exist, sometimes the urge will not exist. Step 4, sobriety is not the same for everyone. Success is. So if your goal is to quit everything, no, I'm not going to drink alcohol, I'm not going to do any hard drugs, I'm not going to smoke any weed, I'm not going to drink coffee, I'm not going to consume sugar. You got to set your goals before you start your journey. And I think that's an important thing. My goal was to stop drinking alcohol. It was not to stop smoking weed. And people would tell me, they're like, you can't quit. Nurses, every nurse I talked to would be like, well, you're not going to be able to quit drinking unless you quit smoking weed. But that's not how it went down. I mean, I haven't had a drink in over 2 years now. And I am pretty stressed sometimes. Sometimes I feel like I am just having the worst day of my life. I had to stop making jokes about suicide because I was like, that's like not funny right now. I can't even handle it, you know? Things aren't really good up here right now. And I don't think it has anything to do with, the pandemic, because I quit my job before the pandemic, and I was planning to start this blog before the pandemic, and then the pandemic hit. Hasn't really affected me too much, to be honest. I'm down here in Florida, and I know that I could go get another job if I wanted. There's places hiring, but my issue is not that I can't find work, it's that I can't do the work because I'm like seriously injured. I mean, like, could I do it? Yes, but it hurts my brain. I don't like being depressed, and this is the second time in my life now I'm having to struggle with this. So it's just like, why am I not doing everything I can to prevent this from happening in the future? You got to set your goals. My goal was to quit drinking, and I succeeded in that, and now my goal is to run a profitable business, and I'm getting there. When we talk about, so I'm working backwards. That was step 4. Step 3, and they could really be said in any order. It's just like, this is what I wrote them, the order I wrote them. And step 3, the urge to imbibe substances that I know will prevent my success is finite. So the urge to drink isn't all the time. Like, if you're an addict or an alcoholic, you know this. The urge to drink, man, if I don't wrap this up in 2 minutes, I'm going to have to edit the video and mash them together, and my computer can't handle that, really. So I'm going to wrap it up soon. The urge to drink doesn't go on forever. It's not like, man, I've been thinking about having a drink every single minute for 3 days in a row. No, it lasts about 5 to 15 minutes, and then it goes away. And if you meditate on this and you focus on that and you actually learn to recognize that, you will see. You'd be like, man, I wanted to drink and now it's gone. And then you start thinking about maybe it'll come back, you know, and that's in the beginning. You work those things out. Not everybody will be able to achieve sobriety, but that knowledge does not prevent my success regarding sobriety. That is a big one, and it's really, I've seen it most prevalent when I like talk to homeless people. Like I lived in San Francisco for 3 years, and there's a lot of homeless people in San Francisco, and I would talk to some of these homeless people and be like, look, like, you know, you should do this, you should do that. At the end of the day, not everybody even wants to be sober. Some people just want to be drunk every day and live a short, happy life. And that's like, they have their God-given right to do that. Not very spiritual, not a big God person. But we'll talk about that another day. That's history. That's a historical thing. Some people are going to want to do that, and don't let that stress you out. And then step 1, sobriety is a choice. It's up to me to make the right choice. That's what I'm saying. You just got to do it. I just had to hit record on this video. Even if I'm like, nope, nobody's going to watch this and it's useless. You should find your time doing something else. But I just did it because it's the choice, and I'm feeling like I feel like it's the right choice. Logically, I know I should record this video, so I'm doing it. You just got to step up to the plate and knock it out of the park. I will see you soon.